Well, it looks like the hunt is finally over for a new manager at Newcastle United, and that man is Eddie Howe. A deal in principle has been agreed, and now we just wait for that official confirmation to come through. But finally, we can now start building and looking ahead. Hi everybody, I'm Paul, back again, and really happy that finally we get some closure on this managerial situation at Newcastle United, with Eddie Howe agreeing a deal in principle on a 2.5-year contract to come to the club and try his very best to get this club out of the shit that it is in at the minute. And let's face it, we are 19th in the Premier League with 6 points adrift as it stands. It could be more by the time we finish the match against Brighton, but I'm really pleased. I'm genuinely really pleased. Since the Eddie Howe rumours came around, I've been looking up at sort of, him doing videos on tactics and stuff like that, and he comes across as a very, very tactical-minded manager, someone we haven't had in quite a while under Steve Bruce. It's clear that Eddie Howe will come in with his own ideas and hopefully change the way that we play the game of football at the moment. A lot of people on social media still not 100% sure. Look, if you're not going to back him, then what's the point of supporting the club? You need to back him. He is going to be the manager at the end of the day and needs the fans 100% behind him, because it can't be just up to him. The players have to start delivering. No doubt about that the players have to start giving something to this football club. And Eddie Howe will need everybody right behind him and on board with what he's going to be trying to do over the next months and years, because he is the man that is going to start this project for Newcastle United now. The new owners are pretty satisfied with what he's had to say. I like the way that the reports have come out that he he's done his homework on the club. He had a lot to say about the club's history and where he believes the club should be. And that's great to see from a manager that, let's face it, did wonders at Bournemouth, getting them lower leagues into the Premier League for 5 seasons. 5 seasons, guys. Not just a couple of seasons or a one-season wonder. He managed to keep a club like Bournemouth in the Premier League for 5 seasons. An incredible achievement given the size of that club. And yes, you still get the people turning around saying, oh yeah, well, he got the club relegated. For Christ's sake, how, a lot of managers have had relegations in the careers. A lot of very good managers have had relegations in their careers. So let's not bog down with that, because, to keep Bournemouth where they were for 5 seasons was an incredible achievement. I truly believe that. Getting them successive promotions and then into the Premier League, is just awesome. And we have to give him our full backing. He comes across as a lovely fella. I've just watched a video on Twitter today, which I've retweeted out about, he was walking around the pitch at Bournemouth with Callum Wilson, answering questions and stuff like that. That is one guy that's going to be delighted to see Eddie Howe, is Callum Wilson. And one thing Callum Wilson will probably say to Eddie Howe is, I need service. And Eddie Howe, let's face it, he gave Callum Wilson service at Bournemouth with the players that he had available to him. And one of those was Ryan Fraser. Now, it didn't end very well for Ryan Fraser and Eddie Howe at Bournemouth. They apparently fell out. Come on, that's not going to continue. Eddie Howe is a bright enough manager to say to Ryan, right, it's a different club here. It's completely different surroundings. It's a new beginning for us. So let's start from scratch. And maybe he can get the best out of Ryan Fraser moving forward. It's just a case of sitting down with him and discussing what he wants. But for me, Eddie Howe is 100% going to get my backing, and I'm very, very excited to see what he can do at Newcastle United. We've seen some boring football under Steve Bruce. Rafa's football wasn't great, but of course, it had a bit of organisation to it. That's why Rafa got results, let's face it. He was a good tactician. And that's what Eddie Howe seems to be. So I am very, very excited to see what Howe can bring to Newcastle and see what direction he goes in with formations, with tactics and things like that. Because I genuinely believe this man can pull us up the league. Now, what he does need, though, is time. We can't just judge him on 5 or 6 games. Let's face it, this is Steve Bruce's bunch of numpties here. So we have got to get the best out of them until January, until Eddie Howe can then go and make signings. Now, again, a lot of people have come back and said, well, what is his contract going to be like for bringing players in? Look, his signings at Bournemouth weren't that bad if you look at them. You know, for the prices he paid for some of the players like Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, etc. Yes, there was some didn't work out. That's just a case. You know, Fergie signed players that didn't work out. You know, that's just football. Some players will sign and just not work out. But the majority did at Bournemouth, and for very little money. Now he's going to have a lot of money. Now, whether there's going to be someone else working with him to get players in, ambassadors for the club, you've got Shearer, you've got Keegan, things like that, who can come on board and help attract players to Newcastle. It's not just Eddie Howe. If Eddie Howe says, right, I really, really want to target that player, I'm sure that, you know, these ambassadors who are certainly going to come into the club, in my opinion, are going to be there to help him. And he's still very young, Eddie Howe. You know, he's got a lot of years left in him. And, you know, like I said, hats off to the man for taking on this project. Because it's clear to me that Emery bottled it, you know, and there's a lot of other managers bottled it. Quite honestly, that's my opinion, because they saw when Newcastle was in the league and they think, oh God, I don't want a relegation on my hands. So for me, it's fantastic that Eddie's decided to do this. It takes balls, it takes guts to come to Newcastle with a massive fan base, massive expectations now to see what he can do at the club. So for me, I'm absolutely delighted. I can't wait till it's official. I mean, it's 90%, isn't it? I mean, you know, they don't report these things unless it's, you know, especially a deal in principle. It's just sorting out the backroom stuff, contracts and wages, etc. So that, as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much a done deal. And he'll get my 100% back. And I'm very, very excited to see what he can do. Let's not turn against him, guys. I mean, I know some people will be disappointed that it's not a world-class name and things like that. But come on, where we are at the minute, we're still in the shit. You know, we've got a long way to go. A long way to go till we start winning trophies and things like that. And Eddie Howe has decided to come in and help get this club out the crap and move it up the league. And hopefully he's the man that will take us forward in the future, you know, taking on this project and prove every doubter wrong. Every doubter. That would be brilliant for me to see him just prove people very, very wrong who think he's going to fail. So for me, it's a yes, but let me know down in the comments below what you think of Eddie Howe's appointment. Is it a risk by Newcastle United, or do you think genuinely that Eddie Howe will be able to get the best out of these players and bring in some decent ones in January? We'll have a conversation down in the comments, guys. But thank you very much for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like button for me and continue to help me build the channel. And also, if you're new and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing. Onwards and upwards with the subscribers at the minute. It's going really well. So please do consider joining the Toon Review family. If you're watching this on the Friday, I will be bringing another video out later on today, which is obviously the press conference reaction. And then tonight at 8 o'clock, I'm joined by Chloe, the Brighton fan, for the match preview. So don't forget to join me for that as well. That should be a cracking show. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you later.